Hello all my dear friends, once again I welcome you back to my YouTube channel Modern English with Khandu Dayal. Dear friends, if you are new to this channel, please like, share, comment and subscribe my YouTube channel to get more videos. Dear friends, in this video we are going to learn more about the brainstorming session on the chapter that is Do School Really Kill Creativity, that is mind mapping. So we are going to see the brainstorming session on this lesson. The first activity which is given here is the mind mapping, a template. Use your ideas and thoughts or concepts to illustrate or to develop them. Develop your ideas in the form of main branch or sub branches and territory branches respectively. So my dear friends, here if you could see that we have just taken into account an example of the same example, right, wherein we have put in the middle, that is core idea as infectious disease, right, followed by sub ideas or sub branches, that is spread, then precautions, then containment, then treatment. So this is what the sub ideas of the main idea called infectious disease, right. So let's see one by one. When we talk about the first idea, sub idea, that is spread. So if we think about the infectious disease, so how does it spread? So what are the possible ways with which that disease spreads? So first of all, touching infected surface, right. If we touch the area which is infected, then automatically the disease will be spread. The next is contact, right, primary contact and secondary contact, right. So if you came in contact with a person who is infected, automatically we will be reasonable, or will be the reason behind spreading the disease. So this is what the possible ways through which the disease spreads, right. The next is precautions. What precautions will you take, right? The precautions would be cough or sneeze into your upper sleeves whenever you feel that you are going to have a cold, or whenever you feel that you are going to sneeze. So you are supposed to use your sleeves so that your cough and sneeze will not go outside, will not spread, and that's how it could be a precautions. The next is do not sneeze or cough without covering the mouth. See, we have to always use clothes, right, or any clothes, right, which will be able to cover our mouth whenever we are going to cough or sneeze. So that is what a kind of precautions is. The next, washing hands with soap for 20 seconds. If we are going to wash our hands for 20 seconds, definitely it will be a kind of precautions that we will be able to save ourselves from the disease, or we will be saving ourselves from getting infected. The next is using alcohol based hand sanitizer. So sanitizer is one of the best precautions that we can ever take. The next is wear mask. Wearing mask is very important to keep ourselves away from the disease. So this was about the second sub idea, that is precautions. The next is containment. So how we can keep ourselves away from the disease. That is what the first is lockdown in extreme cases. If a lockdown would be there, then definitely it would be helpful to keep the cases away, right, from growing. The next is self-isolation or quarantine, then testing, then social distancing. All these are the possible ways through which we can save ourselves, or we can keep the disease away, right. Self-isolation is important, quarantine is also important, testing is also important, lockdown is also important. So all these things will be helpful for us, right. And social distancing also important, right, which will be able to help us. The next, that is fourth idea, is treatment. So what are the possible treatment with which we will be able to cure, right. So hospitalization, right, this was one of the most important way through which we can get cure, right. So we have to get admit, we have to do test, lot many tests, right, only then we will be able to get cure. The next is, for most of the infectious disease, vaccines and medicines are available, right. There are certain diseases for which vaccines and medicines and injections are available, right? But for COVID-19, so far no vaccine nor any specific medicine available. But when we think about this COVID-19 situations, for such disease, there is not yet any vaccine or specific medicine available. So we have to take care for such disease. So my friends, this was about the first idea, right? First mind map. The next activity was develop a mind mapping frame or design to show the development in your personality seen with yourself in the last 5 years. You can take the help of the following points in order to develop each of them into further branches. Now let's see this activity. Now I have drawn the table over here with the help of points, right? Now if you could see the first column, which is of age, then development in physics, then self-learning process, then communication skills, then social awareness, and the last one is family responsibility, right? Now the last 5 years that we have taken into account when we think about the development in the personality. Let's talk about the first age group, that is 13 year. So the first age is 13 year, and development in physics, a sense of parting with childhood. So when we think about physics, it is a kind of childhood, right? The next column or the next point is self-learning process. At the age of 13, began to assess the children around the critically. The next, communication skills and awareness of what I speak and how I speak. At the age of 13, that is what a kind of awareness do we get, what we speak and how we speak. So definitely we will be able to understand what we are speaking and how we are speaking. Then social awareness, still confined to my small world of family and friends. When we think about the age 13, we are confined only to our family and friends. We never think about beyond our family and friends. Then family responsibility, took everything for granted and never bothered about the resources of my family. We do whatever we want at the age of 13, 14. We never think about what the family would say or how the family would suffer. So we always take everything for granted. We never bother about the family, right? So this happens in the age of 13. When you think about the age of 14, what happens in the first column, that is development in physics, an earnest desire to join the club of grown-ups. The age of 14, we feel that we have to have our own friends, right? The next, self-learning process, a great quest to know more about the world around me. At the age of 14, a kind of quest is aroused in ourselves to know more about what is happening around us. Then communication skills, when you think about censor of incorrect and impolite utterances. At the age of 14, 15, what happens? We never think about the incorrect utterances, the slang words, the abusive language, right? The language which is not used in the society at all. That is what we tend to use. The next is social awareness. When we think about the age of 14, exposure to print and electronic media opened up a new world. Then see, this is what happens at the age of 14. Then family responsibility, slow realization of the hardship of my parents in educating me. At the age of 15, we understand what happens, how my parents helped me to get educated, what hardship they suffer, what efforts they have done to make me educated. So that is what a kind of realization happens at the age of 14, 15. Then the age of 15, when you think about, so a physical energy, a kind of physical energy we grow into. The next, self-learning process, an enhanced sense of body ownership. We feel that it is a kind of our own body, right? Enhanced, a kind of a sense is enhanced, increased, right? Then communication skills, an earnest desire to impress others with my speech. At the age of 15, 16, we had a kind of wish that I want others to be impressed. That is how. The next is social awareness, explorations of the world around me and my place in it. When we think about social awareness at the age of 15, what happens? We try to explore, we try to establish our own place in the society. The next is family responsibility, right? Sibling rivalry to my younger sister gave way to a sense of protective care, right? Family responsibility, it is a kind of family responsibility. Whenever we feel that my brother and my small sister, they are being beaten by some of the other person or my siblings, then it is our responsibility to save them. So this is what a kind of family responsibility is that we have to take at the age of 15, or we develop automatically at the age of 15 years. And when we think about 16 years, what changes happen at the age of 16 years? When we think about development in physics, interest in sports which are aggressive and dangerous as we grow physically. So we try to develop a kind of attitude and kind of aggressive nature and aggressive attitude towards the sports. Then self-learning process, a sense of bonding with society at the age of 16. What happens? A kind of bond is created with society and with ourselves. The next, communication skills. Started diary writing and found my skills wanting at the age of 16. When we think about communication skill, we start writing diary, we start planning about what happened or what is going to happen in next. So that is what a kind of communication skills happens. The next is social awareness. At the age of 16, what happens? Realization that I am not an island floating in the ocean of humanity. So a kind of social awareness happens that I have to be within society, I have to be a part of society, that I should not supposed to go outside the society. So that is what, being a part of society, I have to be there. Then when we think about family responsibility, decided to do well in academics. Family responsibility at the age of 16, what happens? I have to do great in academics. I have to be first in the academics. I have to be good, well manner in the school. That is what a kind of changes happen in the personality at the age of 16. When we think about 17 years old, realization of the passing of adolescence and being an adult. Now that is the kind of development happened or took place in our physics. That is what we feel that we are being adolescents. The next is self-learning process at the age of 17. What happens? A yearning to invent or discover something new. A kind of desire is created. A kind of will is created in ourselves to discover something new at the age of 17. This is how the personality develops, right? Dear friends, when I talk about the activity 4, that is develop a mind mapping frame and design to show the benefits of games and sports to the students. You can take the help of the following points in order to develop each of them into further branches. Now the points are given below, that is fitness and stamina, team spirit and sportsmanship, group behavior, killer's instinct, and will to win. So let's see what is meant by the activity 4. Dear friends, as we have seen that the activity 4 is all about mind mapping, wherein we have to think about the benefits of games and sports, right, with the help of points which is provided to us. So the benefits of games and sport is considered as the central idea, central figure of that activity, followed by the points which were given in the question itself: team spirit and sportsmanship, then group behavior, then will to win, killer's instinct, fitness and stamina. So when we think about the mind map, the first idea, the central idea is the benefits of games and sports, right, followed by the sub ideas. So we are going to talk about one by one about these sub ideas. So first of all, I will take here team spirit and sportsmanship. When we think about the benefits of games and sports, the team spirit is automatically developed and a kind of sportsmanship also developed. So make a team player in every field. That is what the benefits of games. Broadens the mind, and it automatically broadens mind when we think about the team, right? Because we have to think for the whole, the team as a whole, and that broadens our mind. The next is group behavior. When we behave in a group, when we behave in a team, we try to assume that we have a kind of family, we are a family. That is what engender adjustability. Even if there are different people, different attitude, different caste, different creed, different regions, so we try to adjust each and everyone. Why? Because our group behavior, group as a society, that is what the benefits of games and sport is. We develop a kind of society or a kind of group behavior, or we try to adjust our friends. Reading to accept others people's opinions and views. So what happens in group behavior? We try to accept the advices, opinions of other people, what they are saying, and learns to control ego. When we think about the team and behavior, that time we try to control our ego. We keep our ego aside and try to be the part of behavior, group behavior. So that is what one of the benefits of games. The next is will to win. So the most important benefits of games and sport is the will to win. So giving one's full efforts to any activity is important. What happens when we think about benefits and games? We had a kind of will, or we had a kind of aim to win the match, and that definitely help us to be the best winner. When we think about the second last sub idea is killer's instinct. So what happens? We become a kind of focused person when we think about the benefits of games. So what happens? We have to be very much focused on our goals, right? Our aims. Only then it is possible for us to win the match. Otherwise it is not possible for us to win the match, right? So moving on to the next and last sub idea of the benefits of games and sport is fitness and stamina. So by playing games and sports, what happens? We try to keep ourselves fit physically, and we try to grow so the last important benefits of the games is fitness, right? It keeps away our mental illness, right? It makes us feel good, and it keeps us physically active. So this was about the benefits of games and sports. Activity 5 is also given here. So dear friends, you can see the activity 5 as well.